Welcome to another episode of No Talking During the Movies. I am your host, Stephen Austin.
I'm your co-host Tank. What's up? What's
Tank
cracking?
Tank's got a red solo cup, except it's blue.
Yeah, that's right. It's a sad one.
It's the sad solo cup. Uh, Tank is Wanda, and I am Vision. This is the last week I can make that joke. That's it.
All right.
That's the one. It's not great, but you know what? I'm just excited to talk about the finale, so we're gonna get right through to it.
I like it. I like what you're doing here.
Especially because you got to run immediately after this podcast. We're gonna run through these trailers. We got a lot of them today. This first one is one that you sent to me, and I totally forgot what it was about because you already explained it to me. And then when I watched it all, I was like, "Oh, I am so in on this." It is called Kid 90. Tank, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's Soleil Moon Frye, who is Punky Brewster,
Right.
and she just recorded stuff. We're starting to see a lot of this. Netflix had one come out about Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls called "I Got a Story to Tell,"
Right.
which one of his buddies was constantly recording everything that they did. So now we're starting, and this was like the same thing with the Last Dance. Like it was just the culmination of all of this, like
Behind the
saved
scenes
up
footage.
from
Sure.
years and years and years, and that's what this is. Soleil Moon Frye's footage that she's been taking when she
Right.
was a child star in Hollywood, and you see all of these guys, and some of them I can't place their names, but like Eric from Entourage, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right,
he was
right,
a
right,
child
right.
actor.
It was
So like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just
so,
featuring a ton of child actors because there was
yeah.
like a handful of them in the time.
Johnny Depp is in there,
Right.
and just Jim Carrey. I mean, it's young Hollywood being young Hollywood, and it looks really cool, and it looks like a really fun behind the scene kind of thing. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, honestly, the idea that it's kind of showing them they point out in the trailer itself that this is like their awkward years because this is
Mhm.
this is the age that everybody has in their awkward years, except the difference is they're all on camera all the time. So
Right.
the idea that it shows the effect that Hollywood has on young actors and actresses is it's going to be very interesting. Um, she starts talking about the moment that she started really aging up and how immediately different everybody saw her because she wasn't a little kid anymore, even though she was still so young. And
I
that's
think that's like one of the big like criticisms of Hollywood.
right,
She started to develop a little bit, and
right.
and suddenly people started to see her not as a a tween, which she
Yeah,
was, but they
13
started
years old.
treating her like a woman. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's not okay. But in Hollywood, that's how it goes sometimes. So I think that's like one of the really big criticisms of that whole thing. And then you get a lot of creeps sexualizing these kids. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to be a really interesting look into the lives of
Sure.
of all these people, and not all of them are big stars either. Some of them you like kind of wondered where they went. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for
Yeah,
it.
it's really going to be a psychological look at everything. And, she says something along the lines in the trailer of like, she didn't really know what self love was until after this whole experience. And I'm just like, I'm happy to know that she probably feels a lot better about herself after reliving all of this. So I'm happy that she's going to get to share that with us. And
Yeah,
I'm very interested in watching it.
and they're
Um,
rebooting Punky Brewster as well, so it's really good timing.
Oh wow, yeah, that's perfect timing. Kind of get everything back in the limelight, I guess. Okay, up next we have a Tom Clancy project, and honestly, I don't find myself watching a lot of Tom Clancy stuff. This one's probably going to be a little bit different. This is Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, and it features one of our favorites, Michael B. Jordan.
I mean, honestly, dude, I would watch Michael B. Jordan read the phone book. So, I mean, I'm definitely there for this, but this looks like Michael B. Jordan starring in a version of Man on Fire, and I
Yeah,
got to tell you, I'm here for it. I'm so excited about this project, and Tom Clancy. I think that name doesn't carry the weight that it used to
no, it
necessarily
doesn't.
because a lot of the older people they were into that, but I think it's weird to call it Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Whatever. I mean, that's fine. but it looks incredible. It looks like a lot of action, and
Sure.
I don't believe that Michael B. Jordan would pick a bad project. So
No, I mean, even if the movie doesn't have like a solid plot, the
mm,
action alone is gonna be enough to sell
a-
me. Like,
absolutely.
there's a quick clip of him like taking down two people while in like a pool of water, and I just remember thinking like, yep, I would watch this movie. That's the only clip you needed to show me, and I'd be like, Michael B. Jordan doing stuff like that, totally in. Like
Yeah,
that
it looks.
tactical takedown kind of stuff.
It is just Michael B. Jordan is the star of the future, and he can do anything he wants. This is the thing about
Absolutely.
Michael B. Jordan is like I think he just has his pick of projects. Honestly, action, drama, love story, comedy. I think he could do anything. So
I agree.
I think that this is going to be pretty tight. Is now um, Jack not Jack Reacher. What's the John Krasinski show on Prime?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan, is that Tom Clancy
I,
too?
I believe it is.
So
So I
yeah,
think
so
Amazon Prime just has a hold on Tom Clancy stuff, and they're just
uh,
creating more of his products,
Amazon Prime.
projects.
First of all, Amazon has everybody's money in the entire world.
Yeah, you're not
Number
wrong.
one. So I mean, they just gave Childish Gambino, aka
Donald Glover.
Troy from Community. I can think of his real name. Goddamn, Don Glover, an
Just keep
eight
saying
figure.
AKA and just list all of his
Yeah,
characters' name. Ern
aka
from
Lando
Atlanta.
Calrissian, aka the nervous guy from The Martian. Um, so yeah, so they just gave him an eight-figure deal to do shows and stuff like that. So they are, you know, this is an arms race right now
Yeah.
with movies and TV shows and content in general because losing movies has left a void which every service and that's why there's these new services springing up. Everybody's
Yeah.
trying to fill that void and trying to get their hands on those dollars that used to go to movies.
And I think what I also like, this is kind of a great lead into one of these next trailers. What I also like is the creativity that goes into making films right now, because they would say, all right, well, we got another project happening, but given the circumstances, we could make something really incredible. It's just going to be a new look at media as a whole. So how about we do something like Calls? Literally a short TV series that's going to be on Apple TV that is just phone calls, but with people we know, actors and actresses we know, giving these wonderful performances just through audio, and no other visual other than I guess in the trailer these like it's like wave lines of their audio.
It reminds me of the old Microsoft program that used to be put on when you listen to music and you
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
on your
yeah.
screen.
And it was just like a big wall of squigglies that would change
Yeah,
color. Yeah.
but I mean, but like this reminds me a lot of I don't know if you ever watched Unfriended. Did you ever watch Unfriended?
I never watched Unfriended. Was that the horror one or was
It
that
was a horror one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, no, I never watched that one.
So it was a horror movie based on the idea of the whole movie was done on one laptop, like not like edited and stuff like that. But I mean, like
The idea is
that was the setting. That was
you're
the setting was this laptop because
okay.
you were on a video call
Right.
with these. I can't remember if it was
What's a
like
video
six or
call?
seven. It's kind of like
What is Zoom?
it's like a little bit like a Zoom. Um, so and then meanwhile you're also experiencing this one laptop's background stuff going on, like messaging other people through other social media platforms, and then
Mm,
there's playing music and looking things up, and I mean, like, so it kind of reminds me of that,
it's very
and
creative.
it's a really creative way to tell a story, um, and honestly, like it looks like really creepy,
Yeah, it does.
like
I think in the trailer it said something along the lines of like 9 stories. All of them have one connection or something, and I'm just like, that's weird. Like,
and like it's what you can't see. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like
right, right, exactly.
it's what you can't see that freaks you out. So I'm if I had Apple, which I do not, I would definitely watch it.
It also reminds me of a movie. I think I might have actually recommended it before. So I guess in this case I can recommend it again because it's fantastic. It's called Locke, spelled
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Locke. Yes, with Tom Hardy. And essentially the entire movie is set in his car. while he's driving from one place to another, and it's about an hour and a half drive, so it's about an hour and a half movie. He never gets out of the car in the movie. It's literally just him making phone calls. We do have the visual of getting, to get to see his acting while he's stuck in this car. Like, he's not reacting to, like, traffic. It's just him doing an emotional character piece and reacting only to voices over his Bluetooth speaker in his car. Very, very powerful, wonderful performance of a film. But all the other people who are giving their performances over a phone call is kind of like the teaser of what this project is going to be with calls. It's because it's literally just phone calls. And I don't know. I'm very excited to see more creative filmmaking in this way. And with us being in quarantine in this era of COVID, honestly, we could be getting a lot of other projects like that coming soon that people have just thought of while they've been stuck at home.
I mean, honestly, if people can't work together in a physical space,
right?
I mean, that's like that solution is not only unique, but it's also really like kind of a cool way to do it.
Also relatable for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like making movies off of Zoom phone calls all of a sudden will become way more prevalent because everybody will be like, I definitely know what Zoom is. I don't know. It's very interesting, and I'm excited to see what comes of this project, or at least hear what happens with it. Like you said, I'm also waiting just to use a free subscription to kind of try out Apple TV so I can just binge a bunch of stuff that I like, and this is probably going to be on that list.
Jason Sudeikis won a Golden Globe.
He
for
did,
his
right?
Performance of Ted Lasso, and we don't even get to watch it. I'm just not. I'm not buying more. I don't care what comes out next. I'm done buying streaming services. I'm all full.
Even with all this Paramount Plus stuff, I'm like, another one.
Yeah, I'm all full.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming services giving us their best, next we have a Netflix film called Thunder Force featuring oh my God, what are the name of the actresses?
Melissa McCarthy and
that was my phone going off. I am sorry.
What's the other?
Octavia Spencer?
Octavia Spencer, that's right.
Okay. I'm happy I...
Pass.
Yeah, so essentially it's supposed to be like a superhero film where these two, women get superpowers, and Octavia Spencer has invisibility, and Melissa McCarthy has super strength, and it looks okay. Like, I don't...
What do you mean it looks okay?
Like, I'm sure the prime of the population, the most people will probably watch it and enjoy it.
That movie will need to stop for gas 6 times to get to okay.
All right, well, touche. I'm just saying, I find myself laughing at least one or two jokes in these movies that I'm like in the trailers that I'm like, that's probably not going to be that great.
Melissa McCarthy is the unfunniest human being on earth.
I don't find her funny anymore. I feel like she had a thing, and that became her thing, and then that thing has just been beaten to death.
No, it's just ridiculous.
You never found her funny?
No, never.
Really? I
didn't like Bridesmaid. I didn't think that was the funny.
I didn't like Bridesmaids either, just because I don't like dumb comedy, and I hate the idea that, hey, we're gonna do representation, an all female led movie, but we're gonna give you the same stupid jokes, and I'm like, that doesn't make it better. That you're just giving me another bad comedy film.
Right. It's like, oh my God, women saying the F word. Oh, now
exactly. It's like,
if you want to see a funny female-led raunchy comedy, see The Sweetest Thing with
How about
Christina Applegate. That's funny.
Did you ever see Girls Trip?
I don't know.
Girls Trip was a lot better of a fully female-led like comedy film. Another one where it's like they had a good story behind it, on top of the fact that they're also doing dumb raunchy comedy that works.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids just did not do that for me. I don't know. There's I have a lot of issues with that. I'm trying to think if there was another Melissa McCarthy thing I liked, because at one point I really liked her. Maybe I just liked her as Sean Spicer.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was pretty funny.
It was pretty good. Yeah, so this is a pass for me. It doesn't. I'm sure a lot of people will like it, but this is one of those ones that Netflix is throwing out there that I'm like, that's a Netflix film.
It's just a 2021 thing.
Yeah, probably.
It's just what we do now.
Yeah. Uh. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for trailers. What do you say we get into some news?
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. Up first, we have some new developments about the next Space Jam film. Now, first, before I get into it, Tank, did you like the first Space Jam?
Man, you know what? It's been so long
So long since you've watched it.
because I think I saw the original in the theater,
Oh,
and then
really?
that was like the only time I ever saw it. So it was like
No way.
1994. So
I've watched
um,
it a couple of times over the years, and I still love that movie. It's got a soft spot for me.
well, no, I'm sure I loved it. The soundtrack was awesome, and we
Yes,
didn't know about R. Kelly then. Um, and Michael Jordan. Everyone loves Michael Jordan.
100%.
Even though he was a bad actor, it still turned out like a really like awesome movie.
Yeah,
The Bugs Bunny thing was awesome, and at the time groundbreaking as far as
it
like
was. Yeah,
how it
absolutely.
looked.
And it had rules. That was something else that I want to bring up. Apparently, this Tom and Jerry film has come out, and it is just absolute garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the problem is with animation, and especially animation interacting with live human beings, there has to be some form of rules. So like, Space Jam has rules where he can do silly cartoony stuff because he's in the cartoon world. Who Framed Roger Rabbit had rules where cartoons could interact with each other in crazy ways, but humans still react as normal humans. They can't, take an anvil to the head. So the problem with Tom and Jerry is it had no rules. Like the animated animals were either animals or they were treated as humans, or they could do cartoony things, or they couldn't do cartoony things. So it just was all over the place. So I don't know. This is not about that. But anyways, so the fact that Space Jam had rules, I think, is one of the things that made it work better. And now that we're seeing the continuation of the franchise, like a sequel to the film, it's going to be called A New Legacy, and we get LeBron James in it. So that's super exciting. But all I figured was this was going to be like a rematch of a basketball game. That's what I figured it was going to be. But it looks like the film is very, very different than that. LeBron actually gets trapped in the Warner Brothers multiverse, which I'm like, okay, calling that out immediately. And they've already said that the movie's going to feature cameos from characters from like The Matrix, Mad Max, the It movies, DC
So,
Comics.
so it's like a remake of the Lego Movie.
Kind of, it's just
Yeah.
gonna feature a bunch of like, hey, and I'm here too moments. I mean, of course, the Looney Tunes are gonna be in it, and they're probably gonna be the prime, featured characters. But the idea that we're also like potentially gonna see Neo just like waving hello at LeBron James, I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm. The thing is, LeBron James is charismatic, and I
He is
don't know if you ever saw the movie Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Yeah.
He was awesome
He's
in that
great in it.
movie.
Yeah.
So I think that this will be awesome. I don't know if it's going to be Lola Bunny that they're doing, but the female rabbit that they're doing is not as sexy. Like they made a point to make her less sexualized and more strong as like their thing, which
Was that was that like a new thing that came out?
yeah, I saw this in one of the articles about it where Lola Bunny, like, do you remember Lola Bunny?
Yeah, I remember Lola Bunny, and she was like
Yeah,
super
a lot of
sexualized in
us
the OG.
a lot of us spent some quality alone time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, but they're changing that, which by the way I'm for. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I'm here for it. Like,
No need to over sexualize cartoon characters.
absolutely. That's a little silly. So that's going to be a little bit changed. So what I'm curious about is if this is a sequel or if this is just a different movie.
I feel like it's got to be a sequel, or at least that's what I'd like.
I would like it also to be a sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that we'll see a cameo from Michael Jordan.
I would really like that, honestly.
I'm positive that's going to happen. So I'm excited for that. But
or Bill Murray.
I mean, Bill Murray came in.
In the first one, he was like one of the funniest parts of that movie.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Michael Jordan was like, "Yeah, Bill can ball," so that's really fun. So I would like to see that. I hope that it
What?
ties in. But if it doesn't, I think it'll still be good. I mean, like I think it'll be interesting to watch. Let's not forget that it is for kids.
Yeah,
So
sure. But
you know, if it's not exactly lives up to our theatrical cinematic standards, it's fine because it's not necessarily for us.
sure, but also the movie's definitely has a legacy to build up to.
Absolutely. I mean that,
The
and
first
it
Space
is
Jam is considered a cult classic, so making a
for
sequel off of
sure.
that is gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to live up to. That legacy is looms large, but
Yeah,
um, you know, I think that with LeBron doing it, I think that it could be. I think it could be done.
I'm honestly super excited to see LeBron and Bugs Bunny interact with each other.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm very
That's going to
excited.
be a lot of fun.
Are you excited to see any of these other like cameo characters showing up?
I mean, it depends on how it's done. You know what
Right.
I mean? It's always kind of like one of those things where, um, so like if you're facing, so like you know, if you run into Superman in DC, it's like Superman could fix all this real easy. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure, sure.
Like, it's like,
What if they did it like what if they did it like it was a basketball tournament between all the different universes and there were basketball teams based around the universe, so there's like a Matrix basketball team and
that'd be fun.
a Mad Max basketball team and an ba- so it's just all Pennywise in like a jersey.
And he's dribbling with all 8 legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, that could be fun. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how it's
We'll have to
done. I
see.
mean, I'm excited for it.
I am too.
It looks great. Like I've seen a
Yeah,
couple stills from it. It looks really good.
the animation is going to be absolutely stellar on the film, and I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I'm really ready for this film to come out. Honestly, most of the stuff that HBO Max is putting out is super excited for me. I don't think there's one movie on their like big roster that I'm like, probably can skip.
I got to tell you, I saw a new Kong versus Godzilla
Like
trailer.
trailer.
Another trailer, and
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that movie.
You know the director confirmed that there will be a winner.
Really?
Yeah. I if that's the case, I know it's gonna be King Kong.
Yeah. Well,
Because they
I don't know. At the end, you see Mecha Godzilla of the second trailer. You
Oh
see
really?
a reflection of the eyes. No, you just
Ah.
kind of see his eyes and the reflection
Oh,
of.
okay. I'm
I
excited to
believe
see
it.
Mecha Godzilla. He's my favorite of the Godzilla monsters.
Yeah, it made me.
I just always liked the idea of a robot Godzilla.
It made me actually want to watch King Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
King of the Monsters. And there's a lot of classic Godzilla monsters in that one too. So like that's a reason to watch it is just to see all these classic monsters, and I could just skip all the Bobby Brown stuff.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
don't.
you don't need.
They,
It's a story.
people have to realize when we see these movies, we don't care about the like the drama between the orphan and her like lack of parents. I want to see Godzilla like breathe fire down a monster's throat.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Is you got this? What are you doing with this nonsense? It was the same thing with the Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston. Like I just didn't.
Yes.
I didn't care about his story. I didn't care about any of the story.
Bryan Cranston honestly made that movie so good until spoiler alert for this movie that's been out since like 2014. Bryan Cranston dies in the first like 15 minutes of the film. He's like lead billing on the film, and then it's all led by Aaron Taylor Johnson for the rest of the movie.
Who?
Yeah, Quicksilver from Avengers. Kick ass. No, exactly. And it's like, who cares? I want to see Godzilla. And we didn't actually see Godzilla until like right at the end of that movie. We just saw like his feet occasionally.
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
No,
that was
it wasn't.
That was a disaster.
It was absolute disaster. So I'm hoping that they're going to focus more on the fight in this. I mean, that's why Pacific Rim worked as a film, is because they knew like nobody cares about what's going on inside the Jaegers. They just want to see them punch things.
Yes.
And that's why the sequel didn't do anything. Because they forgot about that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Knowing the way that they're shooting the trailers and stuff, they really make King Kong look to be the good guy. So I'm sure he's going to beat Godzilla, and then Mecha
Well,
Godzilla is going to show up, and then they both have to team up to fight him. That's what's going to
it's definitely in the trailer it's like, oh, Godzilla's gone crazy. We need King Kong to stop him.
Exactly. It's really making Godzilla look like a bad guy, and King Kong is a good guy. So
It's like that Simpsons episodes where it was like you had to go. We need snake killing gorillas, and then we need wolves to hunt the gorillas, and then
yeah, it's just all this like we need everything that comes around
Right.
just to get rid of one problem. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, it's totally gonna be like these monsters are too powerful. We need Mecha Godzilla, the one we created to stop them.
And then he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
I'm excited to see it.
Me too.
It's one of my most anticipated films of the year. Probably up with like every Marvel film and Mortal Kombat.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
I'm just saying, like, the Marvel stuff is looking exciting. Speaking of Marvel stuff, well, we'll talk about this now. Thor Love and Thunder just got a new update for casting, and it just kind of confirmed something for me. And I don't know how I feel about it. Essentially, they confirmed that Melissa McCarthy, hey, back on Melissa McCarthy, is going to show up and play a fake Hela in the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing the stage show thing again. And we already know Matt Damon's going to be in the film, so that basically confirms he's going to be fake Loki again. They're probably going to retell Thor Ragnarok in a quick little stage show.
Yeah, I've actually seen the
like set photos.
the stills of it.
I've seen them, and that just, it confirms that it's going to happen, and that's fine and everything. However, I mean, we've already kind of talked about how we feel about Melissa McCarthy, but Matt Damon's a good actor. Like, he could have been in the MCU as more than just a joke.
Right, but I it's not really their style necessarily. You know what I
Matt
mean?
Damon?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, like most of their guys.
He's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, but he's not. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
He's not hip. He's not young. He's not with it.
Kinda.
Oh, yeah. Is that really what it is? Like, he's too old to be a superhero now?
He's not too old because you got Robert Downey Jr. out there. But
yeah, sure. Well,
only Robert Downey Jr.
Not anymore.
Absolutely. That's not the direction they're headed, for sure.
Sure, they're definitely going younger with a lot of their stuff. I don't know.
But Melissa McCarthy was really funny looking as fake Hela.
Yeah, I will say, we already said what we did about Melissa McCarthy. I am excited to see her be like saying Hela lines.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Taika Waititi's he's going to kill it again. I know he is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He can do
I'm excited.
No wrong.
I'm excited, and this will probably, it's funny because it's like you got the Michael Pena recaps for some movies, and then maybe you've got the
stage shows for Thor movies.
Stage shows for Thor movies. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun kind of a thing, and you like to see who they get for Guardians of the Galaxy, players. So
hey, do you want an unpopular opinion?
Yeah, please.
I really like Thor Ragnarok, and I recently watched Avengers Endgame, actually. But you know who I don't like?
Oh.
I don't like Korg. That is Taika
The
Waititi's
Rock.
The
character.
Rock.
Right, yeah.
Why? I think he is funny in a lot of lines, but I think they overdid it in Thor Ragnarok to the point where he kind of like he has a bad taste in my mouth in Endgame. Does that make sense?
I guess, but I thought he was really funny in Ragnarok.
I think he's super funny up until like the final two scenes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because I feel like they just overdid him. Like, and honestly, like Taika Waititi's hilarious, and him voicing the character is great and everything. But I feel like that ending where like they're looking at Asgard like getting destroyed, and he does this whole like the foundations are strong and we could rebuild and blah 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 blah, and then it just explodes again, and he's like, oh nope, foundations are all gone. I was like, that was such an emotional moment for Thor, and they just kind of like undercut it short. And it didn't, I don't know, it didn't work for me at that moment. All the other stuff, like him doing the whole like, I tried to start a revolution, but I didn't print enough pamphlets. Like, hilarious. I love that.
Get out of here, Ghost.
Piss off, Ghost. You know, like, he's funny when the movie...
stepdad.
Yeah. Like, he's super funny, but when the movie is okay to be funny, I don't know. It's such a weird take, but, like, so all of his stuff in Endgame, the only thing that I liked from him was the whole, like, Thor, that... the little kid is bullying me again in the game or whatever, like Noob Master 69.
It was Agatha all
along. So yeah, weird take, I know.
I see what you're saying. I just disagree.
Sure. And we're probably going to see a lot more Korg. We're probably going to see him in the next film. I would actually be disappointed if we didn't. But we'll see. I know it's an odd take, but that's my weird one.
Yeah.
All right, recommendation time, so we can get to some WandaVision finale. I'm super excited to talk about it today. So Tank, what do you got for a recommendation for us?
All right, so I actually I've been trying to watch a lot of movies lately because I feel like I'm missing a lot, and a lot of things are slipping through my fingers. So I watched the Jon Stewart written and directed movie Irresistible.
Oh,
which is Steve
really?
Carell. Yeah, Steve Carell, and forgive me, I can't remember anybody else's in the movie's names.
I'm trying to remember
but
myself.
It was the idea of Steve Carell as a political advisor.
Yeah.
And he catches a video of this guy who is in Middle America, and he wants to use him as the poster boy to be the new Democrat, the new rural Democrat, and it's like. It is such an indictment on the way our political system and our election system is run, and it's so brilliant. It's so funny.
Oh, man.
And it's like it's just really, really well done. And I mean, if you have any, and the thing is, it's not this liberal love letter. That's the beauty part of it, is that it's not one-sided. Now,
and that's never what Jon Stewart was. He was he was very quick to criticize his own party that he stood with most of the time. So
for sure. And this is that. This is a I mean, I think we can all agree Jon Stewart's very funny and very
I think he's a genius. Yeah.
And this is that. And it's, I mean, honestly, like, I don't want to give anything away because it's so good. But
yeah, please don't, because I want to watch it.
It's surprising. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I say check that out for sure. It's Irresistible, Steve Carell, and it's on if you have Xfinity or Comcast, it's on demand for free if you have any of the movie channels.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I don't know if you know this, but the number one comedian I've ever wanted to meet in my life, like I've always had him top of my list, is Jon Stewart. Like,
really,
100% the one I would want to meet right off the bat.
Get it?
I essentially grew up with The Daily Show, and yeah, he's incredible. I absolutely love Jon Stewart. So, yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I'm very excited to watch it. I saw his trailers a while ago when he was sharing them, and all I was thinking was like, I'm just happy to see Jon Stewart back in the game. He won't be front and center in this, but that's fine because he's not much of an actor. But he definitely knows how to get a point across in a easy to digest and funny way. So I'm excited to watch it. My recommendation for you is something that I realized that you hadn't seen, and I was like, oh my god, you haven't seen this cult classic of a film, Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog? It's Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, and Felicia Day, and essentially it is a guy who wants to be a supervillain, and he's telling his story of becoming one over his blog on like YouTube, and it's a musical. Neil Patrick Harris plays the main character, Dr. Horrible. His superhero that he fights all the time is Nathan Fillion. He plays Captain Hammer, And at the same time, in his real life world, he's like this shy, nerdy guy who really wants to get with the girl of his dreams, Felicia Day. So his overall goal is to become a supervillain, take over the world, so she'll like him. And it's like this wonderful musical. It's like early Joss Whedon, you know, before everybody knew that he's kind of a crazy person in Hollywood. But you know, it's like some of his early stuff. The music is really catchy, and they give some fantastic, hilarious performances. And it's literally like 45 minutes long. It's a very short film. But I think you'd really like it.
I'll check it out. Movie. Yeah, that seems like it'd be right up my alley.
Yeah, the music will definitely get stuck in your head because it's catchy as hell. All right, we're gonna jump right into spoilers. Tank, I hope you enjoyed this episode, but we're gonna get right to it. So here's your spoiler warning. Get out now. Get out now. Get out. All right. So Tank, what did you think of the finale of WandaVision?
Well, a couple of thoughts. Number one, I'm sad that it's over.
I'm
because
depressed that it's over.
Yeah, because it was not only something to look forward to on Fridays, but it's been so good, and it's been such an important series. I feel like I loved it. I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. Dude, that outfit that she was in at the end. Good God, Jimmy. Good God.
My name's Steven.
I don't care. I'll call you Jimmy. That outfit was that was fuego. Dog.
That is the Scarlet Witch I would like to see, because she definitely has become. Well, all right, calm down. I need you to. Oh wait, I forgot we're talking about Marvel. Hold on, I came prepared for this. For those listening to the audio, I just put on my Tony Stark glasses. But no, like that outfit is fantastic. Because it's like finally we got Scarlet Witch. And that's what I really love about it. Really, the episode felt like a her finally becoming what she was meant to be kind of situation, and I absolutely love that.
I feel like that was a lot of characters.
Yeah. 100%. Many people, I don't know if you know this, many people are very disappointed in the finale.
I mean, I would guess. I mean, that's how it goes.
Well, so here's the thing. I like many have been just fan theories have essentially been my content the entire time, like that I've consumed during the entire time that the show's been out, is just looking at what people think is going to happen.
Right.
Yesterday or 2 days ago, the director of the show essentially said a lot of people are going to be disappointed because of the amount of fan theories that have come out. So the moment that he said that, I just kind of went, all right, I don't have super high expectations anymore. Like, I went in with pretty low expectations. I said it's probably going to be a fine ending. And it was. I really enjoyed it. The action was very fun. I've said it plenty of times before. I hate it when Marvel always resorts to just two people punching or whoever's magic beam is powerful than the others. So the fact that Wanda outsmarts Agatha by making the runes in the hex.
Dude, that was so awesome. What a dope move. What a dope move that was.
It was the confirmation that, like, okay, Marvel finally gets me, because they've been doing this more and more with their properties, as they've started doing outsmarting or silly ways to defeat the villain, or like Captain Marvel, a movie that I'm not 100% crazy about. There is still a wonderful moment in that film when oh my God, what's the name of the actor? The guy from
Alison Brie?
No, not Brie Larson. What's the name of the dude? Jude Law. He does the whole, like, turn off the light show and prove to me you can beat me one-on-one. And he's like begging for a fist fight. And she just shoots him. She's like, I don't have anything to prove to you. And I'm like, thank you. I'm done with the punch show. Like, we don't need it with some of these heroes. Right. So the fact that we got that again in this, where she outwits Agatha and defeats her that way, was 100%. I was just all smiles. I was like, finally. Especially they immediately approached it as, if you attack Agatha, you start losing your powers. And it really does look like she falls into that, like, Agatha promises that she can keep my life. All right, here, take all my powers. And I was literally like, oh my God, she's actually giving up by just keeps attacking her. But then they completely 180'd me with that hex thing or the rune thing, and it was
I knew
brilliant.
she was up to something because it looked like she was missing intentionally,
Right.
and that's it. She was riding the ruins, and um, I there was a lot of like uh comic booky moments that I really loved that the nerd in me really that are cheesy, but it's like,
Wait,
this is
which?
our home. Like this is our
Oh,
home. Let's fight for it. Super cheesy.
yes. Loved it.
Boys, take care of the marriage, take care of the military. Very very cheesy, but also like funny and awesome at the same
What a
time. I love
wonderful moment, by the way.
yeah, totally. And honestly, got very emotional when she was saying goodbye to her kids and said thank you for choosing me. And
Holy
uh,
crap.
the goodbye. Now here's the beautiful part. Like this is amazing because, like you said, it's not just about punching and everything. When the two visions squared off and they had
Yes,
this,
it was
then
very
it's
much
like
their fight.
intelligence of
Yes,
yeah.
their fight was so great. Everything that led up to now we're in the library talking.
There's
And
knowledge. There's surrounded by knowledge, and
yes.
I think that was like a really good metaphor for what they were doing, and him giving him so that's going to be Vision. So now he's Vision. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Vision
However,
is back to life.
However, this is something that also happened with White Vision in the comics, where White Vision does retain the memories, but he has none of the emotional weight behind it. So we're going to see a lot of character growth through this White Vision character now, where will he have the same connection to the boys and to Wanda that Westview Vision had? You know what I mean? And it's going to be very different and very interesting. A very interesting character study about like if you regain the memories of something, does that make you the person?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think more than just memories, I feel like he was transferring himself to that because
Oh,
the way it turned yellow.
right, right,
And
right, right.
dude, one of the best lines. I mean, like this was written as good as any Marvel movie we've seen.
100%. Yeah. Maybe
One of the,
better than a lot of them.
maybe better than some, yeah. The best line was, "What am I created from? The pieces of the Mind Stone that are in me,
Yes.
and you are my sadness." I mean, that's
Oh
like
my God. You're my sadness, my
what
hope.
what a great line that was,
So
and
amazing.
like so to see that and like there is the Jimmy Woo. I mean, you gotta love Jimmy Woo.
I
That
love
man
him.
is. I mean, he is awesome. So I hope he gets something. One thing I could give a shit less about is scrolls. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you because they're gonna be a major part of
I
stuff
know.
coming up.
I know.
Secret invasion, man. Secret invasion.
And they were talking about my boss and for Monica Rambeau and stuff like
Yeah, yeah,
that. You
yeah.
know what they're talking about? They're talking about Nick
Nick
Fury.
Fury. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I just the whole scroll thing. Maybe it's because Captain Marvel was such a small part of the entire overall thing that we've been watching.
Right, but they're gonna build on that a lot, I'm sure.
So
And
yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Is like maybe as we become more invested in that storyline, since it's going to become bigger. But
I,
the Monica Rambeau thing, I was really disappointed to not see more Darcy.
yes, I was disappointed in not seeing more Darcy. I was disappointed in not seeing more of Monica use her powers. I mean, I know she's not in full control of them yet, but I would have liked her to kind of discover a little bit more of that in the episode. And then the main thing I was disappointed in was Pietro.
Quicksilver. Yeah.
Yeah, because, all right, first off, boner joke, hilarious. I'm fine with it. However, they also just did a Marvel fake out again. They did this before with the multiverse thing in Far From Home, and they did it again in Iron Man 3. Probably the biggest disappointment people had is Ben Kingsley giving this amazing performance as the Mandarin, but it turns out he's just Trevor. He's an actor who is just trying to get paid. And I
Yeah,
was
that
just
was a
like,
shame because he was such a great villain.
terrifying, and it was all an act. So they kind of did this pull out under the rug thing again. People have pointed out that Disney was so kind of dicky with it that even in the subtitles for Quicksilver, it actually says Fox Quicksilver when he talks.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's like the fact that he's that on the nose and then just for them to pull it out under your feet is very unfortunate. But
That's a shame. It really is.
I know we're running out of time because you got to go. So real quick, I just want to ask you overall, WandaVision as a Marvel property, where do you kind of put this? Like, is it pretty high on your list after everything?
I mean, yeah, I wasn't the biggest Wanda fan in during the movies. Like
Sure.
I just thought it was kind of a whatever because I felt like she was never where she needed to be.
We never, we
in it.
never, we never explored her enough either as a character.
Yeah, yeah. So this is for me, like I overall I give the series I'd give it a B plus. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it was so good.
Very well
So many
written.
great so many great performances, so well written, so many potential jump off points for so many
Yes.
different characters.
I feel like she's going to be using this Darkhold book, and that's what's going to cause even more problems that Doctor Strange is going to come in. She's going to use it probably to get her kids back. And now we also know that Agatha's going to stick around for a while, which is awesome because Catherine Hahn is one of the best parts of this show.
She really was great. I mean, really crushed it.
I was honestly terrified that she was going to die at the end of this show. So I'm so happy that they get to hold on to her for a bit.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think that Wanda's going to be trouble in the future because if she's learning how to control her powers that she didn't even know she had, I feel like she's going to be not if not an asset, she's just going to be on her own. Now, her kids, dude, that was like such a heartbreaking scene. The whole thing,
It was rough.
To her kids, saying goodbye to Vision.
Vision, yep.
I mean, that's like, but that's even though she did mess up and she did hurt these people, that's a hero's moment. You know what I mean? That sacrifice.
She is still going to be looked upon in the MCU as a villain for a while, I think.
Absolutely.
But the fact is that we know as the audience that she's a hero, and Darcy, Monica, and Wu know that she's a hero as well.
Right.
And any other surviving Avengers. But I know you got to go. So overall, I absolutely loved WandaVision. I'm so happy we got to talk about it and experience it together. 2 weeks, we get Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so we're going to be right back to doing this, and we absolutely love it. So thank you all so much for watching No Talking During the Movies. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube, and you can see all sorts of content from us there. But I think that's going to do it for today. Tank, how are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. I might have to actually rewatch the entire series again.
I probably will as well. But all right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much again for joining us on this journey. We'll see you for Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier in the next 2 weeks. We're going to be back next week doing just our normal stuff. But once again, I am your host, Stephen Austin.
I am your co-host, Tank.
And I will try not to have my voice crack on the bye. Bye.